Hey bro, I know sometimes it can be very hard to talk to someone and to keep a conversation flowing, especially when it comes to talking to new people with the intention of connecting with them. That's why I made for you a list of methods for making friends. You don't need to use all of them. Just pick the one that resonates with you the most. Now, let's get started with the first method, which is filter out the boring people. It can be often frustrating to meet up with a group of people and take weeks or months to realize that your personality isn't compatible with any of them. They stick up with the same boring topics. They try hard to fit in with each other, and they have to analyze every sentence that they say while living in fear of being kicked out of the group. And the solution to that is to let out your unfiltered self from the beginning so that you can quickly filter out the people who aren't compatible with you. Now, you shouldn't force it, but if a funny dialogue option pops up in your head, or if you have a weird opinion, sometimes you should just say it instead of hiding it. And if some people react positively, congratulations, you just identified your new potential friends. Method 2. The unique interest. If you ever been the filler friend, people don't seem to find that interesting or exciting. It's literally because they don't know enough about it. So to fix this, talk to people about your unique interest. You might not think people will care, but even if you're into something niche like pressure washing driveways, at least people will have something to remember you by when they first meet you. Just make sure that you explain your interest to people in a way that they can understand without using big words and without getting into the complex stuff right away. Also, if you sense that the other person is bored, it means that it's time to ask them about their interest. Method 3. Be outside of your head. Have you ever been in a group setting where everyone is talking and you don't know when to interject or even what to say? Man, I've been quiet for a while. What are people thinking about me right now? What do I even say? Am I negative aura? What tips can I use from that one video I saw last month? This is overthinking, also known as getting in your head. Overthinking happens when you get a thought, then indulging in a thought, and alternating reality to what you were thinking. But being outside of your head just means taking in the conversation, getting thoughts, but not thinking them over too much. Just say them. And even if you say something cringe, don't see it as failure, but as practice. Method 4. Don't force it. When you feel like you need to force friendships with people who don't even like your presence, you'll feel pressure and that leads to anxiety, which further leads to not being yourself. So, if someone doesn't really care about you, or you have absolutely nothing in common with them, and you're not compatible, it's not the end of the world. Just be as nice as you can and move on. And at this point, it's just a numbers game. So as long as you talk to new people, you'll make new friends eventually. Method 5. Be the main character. This is exactly how you made friends in the first few years after kindergarten, when you didn't have social anxiety, because you thought you were the main character and that everyone wanted to talk to you. And this is actually extremely effective. If you haven't noticed, the people who have the most friends tend to be the ones who initiate the conversation the most. So just initiate conversation with any sentence you could possibly think of, just assuming that everyone wants to talk to you. But remember, once you initiate, don't talk only about yourself. Ask simple questions about people's lives. Listen and maybe ask a follow-up question and show that you actually listen to them. This part is crucial, because eventually, once people get comfortable talking to you, they'll start initiating conversations with you. Method 6. Be the side character. The book How to Win Friends and Influence People is the only book on social skills that actually works. I feel like books on social skills always try to teach you how to scientifically hack people's brains into producing oxytocin molecules by maintaining a 3-to-1 eye contact away ratio and by strategically touching the X part of their shoulders and all that. But in this book, the main piece of advice is that people tend to be mostly interested in themselves. If you want someone to like you, make them feel important, compliment them, say their name when you initiate a conversation, act happy when they walk in the room, remember things about them and ask questions about them as if their life is important to you. Method 7. Be the transparent friend. One big roadblock for getting to know someone well is when no one is sharing or saying anything out of their comfort zone. If you're just having safe, polite conversation with someone where you both hide your deeper thoughts and emotions, you probably won't build that much trust with them. So try to make your conversations more transparent. And this doesn't mean to go out to people and ask them their deepest, darkest regret from their childhood. Instead, a great place to start is, hey, do you want to hang out sometime? Because that's being transparent. It reveals that you think that the other person is cool enough, and saying that kind of thing will slowly bring down the brick wall between you. Now, onto the method 4. The injury update. People love when you can empathize with their pain and actually seem to care. But usually when you ask, how are you? Everyone just says, by default, good. Or if they're feeling daring, fine. So instead, for this technique, directly ask them if there's anything that's been bothering them lately. Maybe they have a physical injury that they need to complain to someone about. Maybe someone made them mad and they need to vent. You don't need to be a therapist, but just need to care. Method 9. The group chat. If you meet new people really often, but can't convert them into your friends, this is for you. Obviously, what you need to do is hang out with them regularly, but for that, you need some kind of way to contact them. So, if you ever get a chance to do some activity with at least 3 or 4 people, and you feel like everyone had a good time, immediately create a group chat. Make sure to be the first one to suggest that idea, and if you need a reason, just say that is that you can get together and do the same thing tomorrow next week. That way, you get everyone's number, and even if the group chat goes quiet, you still have a bunch of people you could potentially ask to hang out whenever you want. Now, before continuing this video, I have a quick plug to make. I opened up my Patreon, where I listed all my products there. So if you want a way to support the channel and also to help yourself become better, I recommend that you check the link in the description. So it's a win-win for both of us. Now, on to the method 10. Do them a favor. It's often said that friendship is about 2 people that provide value to each other. So, when you meet new people, you could use the conversation to figure out how you can be valuable to them. Maybe you're an expert at something that they need help with. Maybe you have a common interest. And if they return the favor and are nice to you, that might be a good potential friend. Method 11. Ask them for a favor. Here are some examples of things that you could ask. Could you tell me where this place is? Could you watch my stuff for a minute? Or even, could you introduce me to this person? Not only does this show them that you trust them, but this allows them to look really nice and generous without much effort. Also, people like to feel useful, but don't expect favors from people if you never do anything nice for anyone, because that's not friendship, that's just networking. Method 12. The ISO play. If you're often in a big group and you get overwhelmed feeling like you have to talk to everyone, this is for you. For example, an ISO play in basketball is a common play where you pick out one of the easiest defenders from the other team and take them one-on-one. Now, to do this in real life, find someone in the group who isn't talking that much and start a side conversation with them only. If you want to, take them somewhere out of the group to talk more. Make an excuse, like asking them to help you with something. This will make them feel special and important. If you do this over time with everyone in the group, eventually you'll kinda know everyone decently. Method 13. Act like you are already friends. There is a saying that goes like this: if you go looking to find friends, you'll find very few, but if you go looking to be a friend, you'll find many. So instead of searching for people who will look like they will treat you like a friend, you go out instead and treat people like a friend as soon as you meet them. Do this by flying past the awkward and polite stage and just go to the stage where you're lighting up every time you see them. You're making fun with them like a friend would. You're saying their name a lot. You're patting them on the back. You play fighting with each other, and generally you treat them like someone you know for a while. This is one of the most powerful methods. But as always, be careful, because with great power comes great potential to be weird. So you need to find a balance between acting friendly from the get-go and being too out of pocket. Method 14. The activity buddy. When you meet someone, ask them about something they've always wanted to do but haven't gotten around doing, then offer to do that thing with them. This way you're basically asking them to hang out, but it doesn't seem desperate because it's framed as you doing the favor to them. Plus, this is a perfectly normal reason for you to get their number, and it works on literally everyone. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I recommend that you subscribe so you can get more videos like this that will help you. And as I said earlier, I open up my Patreon, and if you want a way to support the channel and also to help yourself and receive a lot of value, check out the link in the description. It's a win-win. Until then, have an amazing day.